What it is, my 10 Peace and Grease here, and today we're talking kit guns, primary kit guns, moreover. And these are really readily available for even a new player. Once you get past Earth and you get to Venus, you're going to get to Fortuna, the second open world that you'll encounter. Once there, you'll encounter a character named Rude Zood, who, at spawn, you basically walk forward and to the right, and that's where Rude Zood is located. She will sell secondary as well as what we're talking about today, primary kit gun parts. And basically the way the system works is you acquire the 3 parts for the primary kit gun that you need, which would be the loader, the chamber, and the grip. You would build them in your forge on your orbiter and then take them back to her to assemble into your kit gun. Now the way the leveling works on this is pretty straightforward. Unfortunately, it does have that horrible modular system, which is you have to, once it's built, level it, then take it back to Rude Zood once again to have her gild it. When this happens, you get to choose a slot to be polarized. This means you get to choose a slot that will match a mod that you put in it, which means it costs half of what it normally would. And you also get to name it, whatever the heck you want to name it. Now, the downside to these is they are resource intensive. They're probably going to run you a bare minimum of probably 4 to 5 forma each. And that's not even counting if you have a ribbon mod. Then if you decide to put arcanes in them, that's another resource. Or if you decide to put an Exilus adapter, or you decide to put a catalyst. Here's the deal. If you're an experienced or veteran player, is there anything I'm going to tell you that you don't already know? Absolutely not. Can I put 88,000 forma on these damn things and make them perform? You betcha. But let's face facts. If you put that many resources into damn near any weapon in the game, they're going to perform admirably. So, what are we really proving? Yeah. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at primary kit guns at their base level. These are unupgraded kit guns. With the exception of, I have leveled them, gilded them, and leveled them again. There is no catalyst, no Exilus adapters, and no forma. I'm not running any ribbon mods, nor am I running any special mods. These are all kind of starting out types of weapons. And the most important point about the primary kit guns, in my opinion, gets overlooked, and that is these weapons can grow with you. If you're an experienced, a beginner or a intermediate player, and you're looking for a weapon that you can kind of grow and progress as you do through this game, these are perfect. Because as you gain the resources, you can dump them into the weapon, and the weapon will advance as you advance. I think this is phenomenal, in my honest opinion. But enough of the BS, enough of the talking. Let's get down to the performance testing. So let's take a look at the first primary kit gun. And this is going to be the Rattle Guts. I've renamed it the Bubble Guts. But basically the way this particular weapon works, let me show you the parts I used to build it first. So for this weapon, for the grip, I have the Shrewd, the chamber, I have the Rattle Guts, and the loader, I have the Slap Needle. FYI, pretty much all of your kit guns, secondary and or primary, are going to be known by the chamber that you use. There are 4 chambers in the game. There is the Rattle Guts, as you see here, the Ketchum, which I'll be showing shortly, the Gaze, which I'll be showing shortly, and finally the Tomb Finger, which I'll be showing shortly. So whatever you may name them, essentially they're always going to be kind of known by that chamber name. So these are the 3 parts you will need to construct this particular weapon. So you may want to screenshot that or just jot it down somewhere, maybe on your tablet or your phone, so you know what you're looking for. This is an auto rifle type of primary. If you're looking for a fast firing machine gun, this is probably going to be the one you're interested in. But let's talk stats, because that's where the important news is, right? Right. So the stats on this has a 26% crit chance with a 2.1 crit multiplier, and for status, this has a 15% status chance. These are very decent stats. You can choose to build for crit, you can choose to build for status, or you can choose to build for crit and or status, known as a hybrid build, which if it were me, I would probably do that. As you can see, there's no arcane. I have no Exilus adapter slot in here. I don't even have a I don't even have a catalyst equipped. Literally bare basic mods. The only thing I've done with this is level it, gild it, and level it again. I'm running a split chamber for multi-shot. This is the polarized slot you get from gilding it. Also the name that you get from gilding it as well. This is serration, just raw damage. And finally, thermite rounds for heat. This particular weapon does have inherent radiation, so bear that in mind. And as you can see, unupgraded. So, let's see what this will do against, say, how about level 45 enemies? We're going to start off with, let's jack this up. So, let's see here. Heavy gunners, because they have ferrite armor. And we're going to go with some bombards here, because they have alloy armor. Now, I know Scott at DE right now is cringing because he hates this room, but look, the bottom line is this. This is a nice, controlled environment where I can perform testing and kind of show you what you need to know. All right, so let's start off with the Rattle Guts. We're starting with the Heavy Gunner, level 45. Yeah. Pretty damn good. If you're looking for an auto rifle, yeah, I would definitely consider this one. Works pretty doggone good. Now again, could that have been done quicker? You betcha. If I upgrade this thing, it would melt. But the reality is, what good is it going to do to show you a weapon completely modded out if you don't have any Forma right now, right? Or if you don't have a catalyst laying around, or if you don't have the arcanes or the Exilus adapters. It's not going to do you any good if you're a beginner or intermediate player. So let's move on to our second kit gun. And this one I call finger guns. This one is the Tomb Finger. I guess you could kind of consider this, I don't know, kind of a rocket launcher, I guess, of sorts. But let's take a look at the stats here real quick, or the build, I should say. So for the grip, I am running the Trimmer. For the chamber, I'm running the Tomb Finger. And finally, the loader, I'm running the Deep Breath. The stats on this are as follows. 24% crit chance with a 2.0 crit multiplier, and 24% status chance. Very solid stats here. Again, this is something that you can choose to build for either crit or status, your choice. Me, I'd probably build for both. Again, split chamber for multi-shot, serration for raw damage, thermite rounds for heat, no arcane, no Exilus adapter, no ribbon mod, no catalyst. Bare bones, basic weapon. Again, this polarized slot as well as the name I got from leveling it, gilding it, and that's what you do. So let's see. Oh, this does have inherent radiation, by the way, just FYI. What the finger guns will do against level 45. Now, this has two fire modes. Regular fire mode drops around on them as normal. And it works pretty doggone well. The heavy round is you hold it, the alternate round. But beware, because as you saw, you can get knocked back from this. And the tricky part with this one that I've noticed is you've got to kind of hold it down just a certain length of time. So, but yeah, this thing just flat deletes at level 45, unupgraded. Again, if you're looking for a grenade launcher, this will do the job. Just be wary of the stagger from this. Next up, we've got a primary beam weapon, otherwise, as I call it, the Fugazi. But I'm using a Steady Slam grip. I'm using a gaze chamber, and it is zip floater, as you see here. Stats on this particular weapon are 25% crit chance, 25% status chance. It also has a 2.0 crit multiplier. Again, this is something you can choose to build for either or both. It does have inherent radiation. Again, bare bones basic build here. Split chamber, serration, thermite rounds, no arcane, no excellence adapter, no catalyst. This is, again, a weapon that can grow with you. So let's see how this performs. Now I will jack up the testing here, probably like level 80. Again, unupgraded. Let's go ahead and wipe out these enemies. And let's start again. There we are. Again, this is a beam weapon. So if you're looking for a beam weapon, this will do the job. So this is your bombard with alloy armor. And this is your heavy gunner with ferrite armor. Yeah. Has no trouble deleting these enemies whatsoever. Now let's take a look at the fourth and final kit gun, known as the Ketchum, or as I named it, the Ketchum. Now this thing used to be a beast when it was the secondaries. It actually went through a series of nerfs to finally knock it down, which unfortunately screwed me and many other players over because, it was strong, to say the least. The parts I used to build this were the grip was a steady slam, the chamber was obviously the Ketchum, and the loader was the ram flare. The stats on this, pretty good. More tilted towards your status. You're looking at a 13% crit chance with a 1.7 crit multiplier, as well as a 35% status chance. This does have inherent heat. So, with this particular build, I'm just stacking more heat on it. Basic mods again, Hell's Chamber for multi-shot, point blank for damage. I could use a primed mods in some of these slots, but most of your beginner or intermediate players aren't going to have primed mods. So, yeah. Scattering Inferno for heat and status chance. No arcane, no excellence adapter, no catalyst. Now this is your shotgun style primary of the bunch. And the way that this is built, it has a nice rapid fire type of shotgun. Now the fall off range on this says about 20 to 40 meters. I think 40 meters is being pretty damn optimistic. I honestly wouldn't trust this thing past 30 meters because it just seems like the damage fall off is hard. I mean, very hard. So let's see what it will do to a bombard. Alright, let's see what it'll do to a Grineer. Not a Grineer, I meant a heavy gunner. Heat is working very well. Now you could probably swap that dual stat mod out for just a raw heat mod if you didn't happen to have the dual stat mod as of this moment, and upgrade to the dual stat mod later if you wanted, or both, in my opinion. Stacking all the heat that you possibly could on it. So yeah, that is all for the primary kit guns, but yeah, level 45, if you're here because you're just over that intermediate level of player, you probably don't care about level 45. So let's take a look at level 80. We're going to go with the Rattle Guts, which is your auto rifle again. We're going to go ahead and jack this up to level 80. The chances of a new player or even an intermediate player encountering a lot of level 80 or over is probably slim to none, but let's see what we can get done here. Again, unupgraded weapons, primary kit guns. This is the auto rifle. Let's see what it does. This is the bombard with alloy armor. Obviously taking a little bit longer. We've almost doubled the level on these guys. A lot more armor to get through. Let's check out the heavy gunner with the ferrite armor. So as you can see, the TTK, the time to kill on these guys is a little bit longer, or a lot longer than the level 45. Again, keep in mind, these are not upgraded. In my opinion, these things will probably really come to life and sing once you start dumping some Forma and some mods in there. Because right now, we're kind of at the base kind of starting point of damage. At this point, well over half of the mod slots still empty. So, yeah, that's something to bear in mind. But let's move on to the next one. Like I said, the thing I really like about this is the fact that really these weapons can grow with the new to intermediate player. I think that's a really cool feature that gets overlooked. So next we're going to move on to the finger guns here. Again, this is the tomb finger chamber. So we're going to go straight, oh, and there's the stagger. I'm trying to get to that heavy gunner with the ferrite armor, because we just killed a bombard with alloy armor. There we go. Again, takes a little bit longer because we ratcheted up the level fairly high for an unupgraded weapon, but I still think it performs admirably. Next, the beam primary that we did earlier, the gaze. And we'll probably go ahead and wipe out these enemies to get fresh enemies here, since the tomb finger kind of did some damage to all of them. Alright, so first the bombard with alloy armor. Man, that energy color's gotta go. As you can see, this thing's still cutting like butter. Yeah, there you go. That was the bombard with alloy armor. Now we're working our way through the heavy gunner with ferrite. I would say this one here really impresses me, because for an unupgraded weapon, I can only imagine how good it would be actually upgraded. But that is the gaze primary beam weapon. And last but not least, we're going to the Ketchum, which is kind of the shotgun of the bunch. Let's see how this will perform. Let's start with this heavy gunner back here. You can definitely kind of see the nerfs coming through on this Ketchum. Unfortunately, what they've done to the Ketchum chamber has really kind of even ruined it for primaries. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. If you're looking for a shotgun, yeah, you're probably going to be hard-pressed to really do better, with the exception of maybe something like the Heck, or even say the Tigris Prime. But even those have kind of been nerfed to an extent because of the way the status has changed. They still perform really well. This is more of your energy type of a shotgun versus slug or pellet. There you go. So yeah, there you have it. That is all 4 of your primary kit guns. Again, you know, I'm actually kind of impressed with them. I went into this looking at these as MR fodder. Had no intention of doing anything with these weapons at all. I'm starting to change my tune a little bit. I'm thinking about dumping some resources into these guys. Maybe dumping some Forma, Exilus adapters, some Catalyst. Really seeing what I can get these things to do. And if I can happen to get them just totally ripping, who knows? Maybe I'll do another video on the before and after. The same levels, level 45 and level 80, to kind of show you how these things evolve and how they can actually evolve with you if you're a starting out player or even an intermediate player and you're looking for something to take you through the star chart and evolve with you as a player. These really hit the spot in my opinion. But anyway, that wraps it for me. Which one is your favorite one? Did you have one? Are you interested in these, or is this something you're going to just bypass or just completely MR fodder them? Let me know down in the comments section. I try to respond to every one of you guys and gals out there. And until next time, peace out.